Picture this. A dad is reading a story to his 4.5-year-old kid. He goes to turn the page, and, well, the boy suddenly points and reads, "Go, pig, go."
Wait, was the dad, like, actively teaching him to read?
No, not at all. The kid just absorbed it from, signs and letters around town. So the dad tests him with words like bird and truck, and the kid just nails it.
Wow. I mean, that leaves you with a huge question, right? Like, is this exceptional genius, or is that just normal cognitive development?
Exactly, the eternal question of what actually constitutes being smart. And to figure that out, we're doing a deep dive into section 7.4 of Chapter 7 from Psychology 2E today.
Nice.
Yeah, and for this session, I'm going to take on the lecturer role to kind of break down the mechanics of intelligence, and I want you to be the skeptical student. So challenge me, poke holes in these frameworks as we go.
Oh, I will gladly play the skeptic. Because, I mean, right off the bat, intelligence feels basically impossible to pin down to a single metric.
Well, early psychology certainly tried. There was this British psychologist, Charles Spearman, who believed intelligence was just one general factor. He called it G.
Just G, like the letter.
Yeah, just G. He thought you could measure it and compare it across individuals, basically treating the brain like a single engine with a fixed horsepower.
But I mean, doesn't that completely ignore the mechanics of how we actually think?
How so?
Well, there's a fundamental difference between, say, recalling memorized trivia for a test and rapidly solving a problem you've never seen before. A single G factor can't possibly capture both of those, right?
Exactly. And that exact critique is what pushed the field forward. So Raymond Cattell came along and split intelligence into two distinct mechanisms, which are crystallized and fluid intelligence.
Okay, so what is the difference there?
Crystallized intelligence is basically your mental library. It's your acquired knowledge, facts, vocabulary. It is what you use to ace a coursework exam.
Got it. So it's data retrieval. Then fluid intelligence must be the raw processing power.
Spot on. Fluid intelligence is your brain's ability to see complex relationships and solve novel problems in real time, completely independent of anything you've learned.
Like figuring things out on the fly.
Right. It's what you rely on when you're, driving, you hit a sudden detour, and you have to rapidly calculate a new route without a map.
Okay, but even fluid intelligence still sounds heavily geared toward logic puzzles or academic stuff. What about environmental context? Like, does Section 7.4 account for people who thrive outside traditional academic metrics?
It does, yeah. The textbook highlights Robert Sternberg's Triarchic theory, which argues that analytical intelligence is just one piece of the puzzle.
What are the other pieces?
You also need practical intelligence, which is basically everyday street smarts and creative intelligence.
Yep.
And then you have Howard Gardner, who proposed 8 distinct types of intelligence.
Wait, 8 types?
Yeah, covering everything from musical to bodily kinesthetic intelligence.
That sounds less like a scientific measurement and more like, well, a participation trophy. I mean, if everyone is intelligent in their own special way, the word just loses its meaning.
You have hit on the exact tension the textbook points out. Cognitive psychologists heavily criticize Gardner's theory because it severely lacks empirical evidence. But educators absolutely love it.
Well, yeah, because the egalitarianism feels a lot better than rigid genetic metrics. It implies everyone has innate value in a classroom.
Exactly. It's wildly popular in democratic societies for that very reason. But, setting aside the empirical debate, intelligence undeniably shifts based on cultural context.
How do you mean?
Well, if you live on a remote island, possessing the skills to fish and repair a boat makes you highly intelligent. But in traditional Irish families where hospitality is everything, being a skilled, entertaining storyteller is the ultimate marker of intelligence.
That makes sense. So if the definition of smart is really that malleable, where does the actual creation of new ideas fit in?
What do you mean by new ideas?
Like, if someone is brilliant at memorizing facts or navigating road detours, that doesn't mean they can paint a masterpiece or invent a new molecule. How is creativity mapped out here?
So creativity is actually framed as a vital, foundational intelligence across all disciplines, not just the arts. And the mechanism behind it is divergent thinking.
Divergent thinking, as opposed to, like, convergent thinking.
Exactly. Convergent thinking is just hunting for the single, correct, established answer. But divergent thinking is the ability to generate unique, outside-the-box solutions.
Oh, I see. It's the capacity to see paths that just don't exist yet.
Precisely. And it rarely happens in isolation. The textbook uses this amazing example of Dr. Tom Steitz. He won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for his groundbreaking discoveries about RNA molecules.
Wow. You'd assume a guy like that was just a solitary genius locked in a lab.
Most people do. but Dr. Stites explicitly credited his creative breakthroughs to constant face-to-face debates with colleagues.
So he needed that interaction.
Yeah, he proved that world-class divergent thinking actually requires dynamic, real-time friction.
That is a brilliant synthesis for you listening right now. Just look at your own life, you know? Are you relying more on your crystallized mental library, your fluid processing power, or your divergent thinking to get through your day?
And more importantly, how are you cultivating that creativity? Because if world-class innovation requires constant face-to-face collaboration and debate, as Dr. Stites demonstrated,
Yeah.
how might our modern shift toward, isolated digital communication be quietly stifling human innovation?
Yeah. Something to really ponder the next time you draft an email instead of just talking an idea out.